Hello again. This is Parallel Lines review number 3, but for this one I thought we'd do something a little bit different. First, I thought you might enjoy watching me eat some cheese and crackers here. Delicious. Here's something I want you to ponder. So catfish are so called because it's a fish that looks like a cat, right? Here's your question of the day. What would the catfish be called if it was discovered before cats? Here's my challenge for you. Write down your answer on a piece of paper. And if you answer and give me that in my class, or in Miss Olivas' class, or Miss O'Neill's class, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say I'll give you 5 extra points on this unit's quiz. Because then I know that you've been watching these videos and you've been trying to do these problems. And you paid attention. So, write down the name of what you think the catfish would be called if the fish had been discovered before a cat. Fold that piece of paper in half, and on the front, write Mr. E's catfish alternative, and then hand it in to your teacher. I have not told Miss Olivas or Mrs. O'Neill about this, so I want you to pay close attention to their faces as you hand them a piece of paper that says Mr. E's catfish alternative. And the more of you that hand them in, oh man, I wish I could be there to see that. Anyway, yeah, give me that and I'll give you some extra points on the quiz. So, oh, and you know what? Whoever has the best name as voted by us 3 teachers will win this right here. A box of some fig and black sesame artisan crisps. They're delicious with a fine Port Salut or perhaps a sharp Irish cheddar. Wow. All right. Let's do some math. Yum. Let's do some math. We're going to write the equation of a line perpendicular to that equation and passing through that point. Okay. Well, let's do this. We're going to write equation of a line perpendicular to this. Just make this easy on ourselves and convert this standard form equation into slope-intercept so we can get to the slope real easily. All we have to do is write it down. And then, hey. Oh. Thought my music disappeared. Write it down, and then we're going to solve for y. So we're going to move the x onto the x terms to the other side. So 3y equals minus 2x plus 7. And then divide by 3. So that's going to be y equals minus 2 thirds x plus 7 thirds. And that's okay. We're not going to do anything else with that. That would be ugly to work with. But here's the slope. Minus 2 thirds. Another way you could do that, probably would have been easier, but I want to get you to convert, is just the slope is negative a over b. Same thing. So here's a, here's b, and it's the negative of that. So there's our slope, minus 2 thirds, and it's going to pass through this point. Well, we want a line that's perpendicular. So the perpendicular slope, put it right here, the perpendicular slope is going to be the, remember those 2 words, the opposite reciprocal. So it's going to be 3 halves, positive 3 halves. Remember, flip the fraction, change the sign. That's the opposite reciprocal. So here's our new slope. and it's perpendicular to that line, so we can write an equation like this: y equals, oh, and it's going to pass through that point. So yeah, we need to use this point. So we're going to use point slope form. So here's our slope, here's our point. So that's y, remember point slope form, I'll write it up here, y minus y1 equals the slope times the quantity x minus x plus y1. Okay, so y minus the y up here, that's a negative 5, so that's going to be a plus 5 equals the slope, which is 3 halves, times the quantity x minus 4. Remember, you're changing the signs when you pull the point out there. So if it's negative here, it's going to be positive here. Positive here is a negative there. All right, there's our equation. All right, let's go to number 2. Tell if the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Well, here's one line, here's another. You can either plug this into Desmos and look, or you can use the graphing calculator and look, or you can find the slope again. Remember, it is the slope is equals minus a over b. So that is 4 over 1. So this slope is a positive 4. And this is going to be a over b, which is 1 over 4. That's minus 1 over 4. So, well, let's see. There's that and that. If you don't recognize that right away, here's a way to check. Multiply the two slopes and see what the product is. What is this? -1. If the product is -1, then that means that these two are the opposite reciprocals of each other. So yes, those are perpendicular lines. So these are perpendicular. All right, let's look at this slope here. The slope here is negative a over b. So negative a is a positive 3. B is a 5. This slope is... Oh, well, we can do this. Let's divide by 5. I didn't see that. That was in almost y-intercept, no, slope-intercept form. So let's divide by 5. That goes away. So y equals 3/5 x. And that's the slope, 3/5. These are the same, so these are parallel. How handy to have one of each. All right. Here's the last one. Write the equation of a line perpendicular to this and passing through that point. Didn't we just do that? That's the equation of a line perpendicular to that passing through. Yeah, we sure did. Okay, well, let's do it again. Perpendicular to that, let's find the slope. The perpendicular slope is, well, the slope is minus 4 over a negative 8. So that's it, 4/8. So the perpendicular slope is going to be negative 8 over 4, which is negative 2. Okay. And it's going to pass through that point. And we could put it in point slope form because we have the slope and a point. But the astute student will observe that that is the x. That's the x-intercept, not the y-intercept. Here, I thought I was being clever. No, that's the x-intercept. So we're going to use it. And we're going to, I don't know, we're going to put it in point slope form. So y minus is 0 equals the slope, which is negative 2, times x minus a minus 3, which is plus 3. So this is kind of just is accidentally in slope intercept form. So there we go. It's perpendicular to this and going through that point. But why did I write it like that? Minus 2x plus minus yes, 3 halves. No, what am I doing? 2 times 3 minus 6. There we go. Here's going through that point. Okay, there, we're done. I will see you for the next one. Goodbye.